As Your Heart Betrays You, Part 2. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork by Eve Art and Adam on Tumblr and Instagram. You can find their links to their social media in the description box below. Now then, if you haven't heard the previous parts, you can find a link to them in the description box below. If you're still listening, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. If you aren't sure what to put, comment anniversary dinner. Now then, please enjoy As Your Heart Betrays You, Part 2. Ladybug, 20 years old, feeling like she's 14 all over again. Ladybug hated herself for checking Cat Noir out when she rounded the corner. He shouldn't be allowed to look that attractive in the same supersuit she'd seen him wear thousands of times. But more than that, she hated the part of herself that hoped his praises of her beauty in this suit he'd seen thousands of times were genuine. Oh, heart, why must you betray? Are you ready? Cat offered her a grin as he extended his hand, and she took it. Same place as last year? She asked. You know it. Don't look too excited. How could I not? You complimented the chef, so of course I had to bring you back here. She snorted without meaning to, shaking her head. I'm sure it'll be a repeated experience. Is that a bad thing? He moved her hand to his arm as they began walking. Not at all, Cat. What, no kitty now that we're adults? She thought it over. I literally called you my kitty this afternoon. I know. His grin expanded. Ugh, macaroons. She'd walked right into a trap. I just wanted to hear you call me yours again. She slid her hand off his body, and he didn't try to catch it. Is this it? She gestured to the same black door he'd taken her to exactly a year before. After you, Cat said, stepping forward to open it. Thank you. She stepped inside the studio apartment, sparse with a countertop, a toaster oven, and a plug-in burner next to the sink. You've been decorating, she commented, nodding to the photo of their fake kiss from this afternoon pinned to the wall. Well, yeah, ambiance and all that, he winked, walking over to the coffee table and lighting the candle with a matchbox. The toaster oven dinged, as if he planned the timing. I can't believe you live here, she said, watching as he hurried over to open it. I never said I lived here, my lady. Besides, we're not supposed to ask about that kind of stuff. He hung his nose in the air like an act of defiance, but peeking one eye open to check her expression ruined the look. Good. Why? If I did, would you have me move in with you out of pity? Child, she began. No, kitty, he corrected, waddling over to the coffee table with a pan. If you're going to family zone me, at least make me your pet, not a blood relative. You're something else. Am I? And here I thought I was yours. Ladybug looked away, and she heard his breath catch. What? She asked, looking back at him. He chewed his bottom lip, taking his time to glance away before meeting her eyes. Nothing. Dinner? Sure. It took all of 3 steps to meet him at the coffee table before she plopped down, elbows on her knees. Spatula? And here I thought you'd go full bore with your hands. Nah, I left that miraculous at home today. He laughed, ringing as clear as the bell on his collarbone, before sitting across from her, handing a paper plate over. And here I thought you didn't mind looking silly in front of me. Cat, please. When have I ever tried to impress you? That's just it. She caught the sparkle in his eye as he cut into the shepherd's pie in front of them. You don't have to try, Ladybug. Oh, curses. Her heart fluttered at that one. Save it for your girlfriend, Cat Noir. What, I can't praise multiple women? I might get the wrong idea. He plopped a scoop on her plate with less grace than his gesture should have had. How could you possibly... he began. You have a boyfriend, and we both know you aren't breaking up with him anytime soon. Makes the banter all the easier, right? Right. She picked up the fork he set down moments earlier, hovering as she waited for him to serve himself before taking a bite. It was, just as last year, delicious. This is incredible, Cat. I'll pass it along to the chef. She beamed, already warm from his home-cooked meal. Ladybug mentioned in passing how she'd never tried this English dish before, and he remembered. He'd remembered and prepared it himself, practicing for weeks beforehand, no doubt. Cat was consistent in that way. Despite the clown act, he sincerely wanted people to like him, right down to what he made. For all his talk of kisses, she knew his love language was words of affirmation. He'd do anything for a compliment. Oh, whatever. It was the anniversary of them becoming partners. She could afford to toss him a wink, couldn't she? It's rare, but I like your cooking, Cat. He looked down at his lap as a different smile glowed blush across his face. She knew it was from the words and not the gesture, but using a two-hit attack could easily knock him out. Thanks, he said, clearing his throat and tightening his face as he looked up, his usual playful smile replacing the bashful boy he'd let slip through, however briefly. What, no crack at being a better cook than my boyfriend? She pressed. It was so easy to tease him. I'm the one having dinner with you tonight, my lady. Her fork stopped, quivering for a moment above the potatoes. I did date him. Her rationality slipped out with her words, but she wanted to be honest with him. Your boyfriend? Cat's fork hovered above his share as well as he looked her over. Unless, what, you faked him this whole time? Adrien Agreste. She stared at her food. I dated him once. She heard his fork clatter before he cleared his throat. I see. Anyway, what did you season this with? Her feeble attempt to change the subject did nothing for the mood. Sorry. Can we back up? Cat shook his head. You dated Adrien? Adrien Agreste. Yeah. He stared at his plate. When? Like I'd tell you. She tried to make her tone playful, like it was just the dinner chatter she meant it to be, not something for him to mull over post-gasps. Why, He cleared his throat. Why'd you break up? Why do you want to know? She shoveled food into her mouth. He's, a lot like me, you know, in the public eye. I just, sorry. You good? She mumbled through a bean. I want to know because we and I, have, struggled to date in the same way. So maybe if you tell me about it, I might be able to, learn. Yeah, learn. I mean, I want to get out of this vicious flavor of the week, as my best friend calls it, cycle. Yeah, I want to break the cycle. By me telling you how the guy I liked broke my heart? You liked him? Yeah, why else would I date him? Cat curled into himself, back arching his stature like a roly-poly. Money and fame? Please, you know I try to avoid cameras.
So, you dated him because you liked him? Not his lifestyle or whatever?
At the time, Cat, Ladybug sighed, shaking her head and knowing they were in dangerous waters. I would have dated him even if he lived in a dump like this. She twirled her fork in the air to gesture to the studio apartment.
So you knew him personally?
The way he whispered the words struck her as strange. I gave him a miraculous once, remember? Cat swallowed, his eyes back on the food in front of him, utensil twirling between his thumb and forefinger.
I see.
Did you prepare dessert as well?
You must really like the food if you keep changing the subject to it.
You're dodging the question.
Yes.
He stabbed his fork into the potatoes.
I'm the one dodging.
Dessert?
From your favorite bakery.
A warm smile grew across her face. She couldn't help it. Perfect. Alya left the window open for her to slip through, as expected, but she didn't count on her standing in the living room with arms crossed when she got back. Squealing, sure, teasing was granted, but arms crossed? Taking the day into account, this was uncharted territory. Had something happened with Nino? Alya? Ladybug tried. Okay, Missy, she began. Can you tell me why Cat Noir messaged me privately on Discord asking for when you dated Adrien? He did? Playing the naive card wouldn't pan out, but it's the only thing she had in her hand as her brain scrambled to shuffle. When? Not if. When? I see. He knows. Yes, he does. Marinette Dupang Chang! Alya yelled, her arms dropping to her side. You owe me LASIK surgery. Do not. No, you said that if I let it slip to Cat that you dated Adrien, I'd have to buy that designer couch for the apartment. But if you let it slip, you'd buy me new eyeballs. That's not how LASIK works. Potato, you owe me a non-invasive surgery. Alya clapped her hands together a few times. But anyway, he knows? Sparse. He's gonna try to find out who you are. Don't remind me. Why'd you tell him? Alya hustled over as Ladybug made her way to the bedroom. Good night, Alya, she said, closing the door behind her before she could walk in. Ladybug turned and flopped onto her back, falling into her comforter and pillows in a near T-pose position. Spot's off, she groaned. Marinette! Tiki began, ready for chatter. I know! I know! Why did you? I don't know! Marinette didn't want to think about why she told him, because if they were going to reach that answer, then why hadn't she done this years ago? No, it was better to feign ignorance and take a nap. Don't escape your problems with sleep again, Tiki all but shrieked. Shh, you're gonna call tricks in here at this rate. The Kwami's face fell flat in judgment of her master, antennae curled down in front of her eyes. You're hopeless, Marinette. She flew down to grab her phone. Selena Gomez or Taylor Swift? Red. All right, Bug. Tiki tapped the screen, and the familiar opening of treacherous finger-picked itself into the room. Oh, this treacherous heart. Closing her eyes, Marinette lost herself in the lyrics, linens bunched together between her knuckles as she willed her sanity straight. She couldn't date him. She couldn't date Cat Noir until he proved he could actually keep a relationship, but if he did, then he wouldn't be available to her anymore. Trapped and betrayed by her own logic, Marinette's heart throbbed in time to a truth woven into the album she knew by heart. Marinette's heart throbbed as she resigned herself to the future that if Cat became someone she could let herself date, she wouldn't be the one by his side. Thank you so much for listening. Part 3 is on the way. If you're still listening, comment treacherous, because fun fact, I debated naming this mini-series Treacherous after the Taylor Swift song, and, well, it didn't happen. Anyway, I want to save that one for the re-recording. Now then, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. It was a bit of a longer one. This entire series is meant to be between 13 and 20 minutes per part, so I will catch you in the next one. Bye!